Okay, so that for those of you that've seen the short video today, you'll have already seen my weight loss, but it's down to 25 stone 7, which is down from original 26 stone 10 just 22 days ago. I've had a blip of about 10 days when nothing happened because I was eating too much and not exercising enough, but I've got back on track. So I just want to give you a bit of update about what's happened over the last couple of days because I haven't done an update for a couple of days. So a couple of days ago, I got these little poles from a shop that can help you with your walking because I was thinking going uphill, feeling a bit more on my knees, like so. I'll just do something until I've lost more weight and there's less strain on my knees, and that would help. So I went up my normal hill, which is near where we live, which just takes you up about a couple hundred feet over a bit of a distance, but it's still a bit of a bank. And I found myself striding out brilliantly. The poles were just taking that little bit of extra weight off, and I really strode out, got to the top. I was panting, but walking really, really quite decent, and I felt fantastic. Then I went down a little bit of a bank that you can do afterwards. You kind of go across the road and down a bit, and then I turned up to go up another slight little bank, and something panged in one of my calf muscles. It felt like I've strained something or torn something ever so slightly in my right calf. So I carried on hobbling along to a seat that we sit at, which, if you've seen some of the early videos, it's a little seat where I sit and ponder. I thought, oh, I was on for a good walk today. But I decided I was with me daughter as well, and I decided I'm going to hobble around a longer route anyway. It didn't feel disastrous. I've got these poles, so I carried on wandering around the route anyway. And then I went up another hill, very slowly because the calf was hurting a bit. I went up another hill and back down a hill, and then I was just walking in another little section, I think a flat section, and my other calf kind of pinged, panged, or whatever, and that started to really hurt as well. So I'm going out really racing away and thinking this is brilliant. Both calf muscles really suffered. So for the next couple of days, I've been kind of not doing the walking because they've been very tight. Now my left one feels fine today. The right one still feels stiff and tight, but a lot better. So I might go for a little walk just to test that out a little bit. Food wise, I think I found a bit of a magical food for me, and that is salmon. So there was a shop that was selling these salmon. It was going 50% because it's normally quite expensive, and it was going 50% for the salmon slices that you can just eat cold. And I put some of them on with some soft cheese, soft like cream cheese stuff, on wholemeal bread. And I'm finding like one sandwich of that, two slices of wholemeal bread with a couple, a bit of the slice of the salmon on with a bit of the soft cheese, and I have that, and wow, does that fill me up? It just really fills me up, makes me and fills me up in a nice way, makes me really content. So there was a few packs of that, so I got my money's worth and got me the packs, and that did for quite a few meals, and like 4 meals. And I was finding I didn't really need to eat around it, so I've kind of dropped down to almost just having one meal a day. Um, and it's been great, and just like a snacky meal afterwards. And even yesterday, didn't really do anything. Just I had to hang around for an appointment and didn't really do anything else. And we had a salmon Wellington type thing that you can get from Lidl and in the UK, which is like salmon wrapped in pastry with some sauce around it. And I had that just with a few chips, but just a few. Not normally there's a mountain done, but. We just did a lot less chips yesterday, and he had a slice of bread and like this spread, like margarine. It's called it here. It's not proper butter, but it's margarine, and a couple of rounds of toast earlier in the morning as well. Before that, but um, yeah, that was for the dinner. The salmon and Wellington and the chips and just a slice of bread to mop up as I do the sauce off the plate. And that did me fine as well. It was fantastic. That was all day. And for the rest of the day, I think I did eat some like cheese thin biscuits, and then my daughter could just give me a few pieces of chocolate that they'd had because they got them some celebration. I thought there's no harm in that. I'm not going to punish myself forever. So I had a couple of pieces of that. It's made no impact, I don't think, really. And as I say, I'm coming at 25 stone 7, which is, I'd like to get beneath 25 stone by the end of August, which means I've lost nearly. I would love to get to 24 stone 10 because that means I've lost 2 stone in August. But we'll see where I get to on that. But yeah, I found that, and I really, really have cut back on my food without me feeling incredibly hungry. I'm trying to drink a little bit more water as well. That's just around it, but not excessively at the moment. But I do want to drink more water. Oh, we had a smoothie yesterday as well, which is like spinach, banana, apple, some ginger to try and help with the inflammation, bit of lime, then mix that up in a Vitamix type thing or whatever, and then drink that. And that's really nice, really drinkable. Um, so yeah, it's all been good. I've been losing weight even though I haven't been doing the walking, because I haven't been eating as much, but not punishing myself not eating as much. Which brings me on to another subject. So sorry for this post being a bit longer, but something that came up which is a bit connected to the news, and that was about. I don't want to mention the person because I don't want to start personalising things too much. And it'd be apparent for anybody who follows the news, but I don't want to criticise a person in any way, shape, or form. I just want to observe the news that happened, and that was about a certain like mega sports star, if you like, that had found that they were having weight problems, apparently, having had children, whatever, and they'd started taking these weight jabs, I think it is, or weight uh, medication to help you lose weight. Which I'm not going to criticise what anybody does to try and lose weight. I personally won't go down that route if I can possibly help it, because I'm just obsessed with this idea that if I exercise and take in fewer calories than the need for exercise, the weight will come off. I'm trying to think of it as simple as that if I get active enough. But the thing I found fascinating with this like mega sports star is somebody you'd expect to have, be able to train incredibly hard, but given the level they reached, and yet they've still resorted to weight loss tablets. Now, there was in the news piece I read, and I don't know whether this is true or not, there was some suggestion that person could have some connection with the weight loss jab supplier, if you like, or medication supplier, and so could her husband. So there could be some financial interest. But I still find it interesting that even somebody possibly at that level of elite sports, might have such problems losing weight. So, when anybody else is beating themselves up about losing weight, well, this is something that even an elite sports star can struggle to do, And I don't know what all the background is and the reasons, how much, what the diet is, the lifestyle around it, whatever. But you think how hard that person who's a sports star must be able to train or be used to train, and how many calories that must account for. That's quite fascinating, and I think inspiring to, or not inspiring, but it just gives you an idea. Don't beat yourself up if you're not losing weight fast or whatever. If you're losing weight very gradually and doing bits, then you're doing well. You're even doing better just without medication than perhaps some elite sports star who's had incredible discipline all their lives. And you see this with some boxers at times as well. They finish training, and I think as well, because I must admit, when I used to be full exercise, I used to be doing cycling 10 miles to work today, each day, 10 miles back, and then to go out and cycle 10 miles, or I'd go rowing 10,000 meters on an indoor rowing machine. Um, and then I'd be able to eat like a king, and then as soon as I stopped off doing any of that, well, I'd still want to eat the same, but the weight started to come on. So perhaps that's a part of it, just getting used to. Excuse me, nose is dribbling all of a sudden. I'm just going to pause. Yeah, just the amount of exercise they used to do and perhaps the calories they take in, just isn't balanced out still. But it's interesting that was in the news. Congratulations, you made it this far in. I know a lot of the views drop off as you've gone in a few minutes, and perhaps this is not of interest. But if there are any comments around this, drop it into the chat. If you yourself have taken any weight medication, I'd love to know if people have and if they've had any side effects. I mean, I haven't even looked into it, so I couldn't really say. But I always imagine there will be some side effects, and therefore I want to steer clear of them if I can, if I possibly can. So if anybody has got an experience, drop it into as a comment. Any other comments is welcome, as well. But it's all good news from my point of view. If we go out again and do a more scenic walk today, because the leg's almost feeling okay-ish, I'm not going to be walking at pace, but I might do something. But if I've dropped something and it's a bit more scenic or whatever, then I'll let you know. Oh, the other thing I should mention as well, I was also watched a video of some guy who's going up into the Lake District, and I used to walk all over the Lake District. I sometimes it's go out and do like 20 miles in Lake District, because once you've got up the fells, sometimes you're not going down too far to go up the next fell. And I'm really glad I looked at that video. It was one of my daughters was just talking about one of the hills of going up, and it just got me to looking out on YouTube. And I'm really going to look at it because it's really set me a target now. I really want to go up them hills within a year, if I can, if my knees will let me. And that's the target I'm setting myself now. I want to be up Scarfell Pike within a year, at least, if not earlier. So there's another target for me, and we'll see whether I can do it. Well, thanks for watching for now, and thanks for those of you that subscribed and followed, and thanks for all those words of encouragement, because I've gone through a bit of a lull, and I feel like I'm coming out the other side. So thanks, and I'll see you next time on Fat Man, Thinner Man. Bye for now.